Too many people. And it bothered me because after 41 years, things have gotten worse. So it was evident futility. But the reason why I realized that there was a case, and I want to ask the question, how do you deal with a society that is addicted to violence? So addicted to violence that they'll wave their Christian banners and take the Indians' land. Fall on their knees in front of an altar and steal people from their native land. Spend 400 damn years misusing and abusing and denying people an opportunity to be emancipated from the oppression that they themselves ran away from. We have lost our minds. You cannot intellectualize this away. You cannot use all of your great wordsmithing to fix this thing. This is a heart condition. This is a mind condition. And most of all, it's a spiritual condition. How in the heck can you have 10,000 religious leaders and men still having sex with children? Stop the foolishness. My grandma said, if you want to know something, go to somebody that got the answer. If you want to know how to comb your hair, don't talk to a bald-headed person. We got people like Jimmy Bell, who wrote Neighborhood Policing Concepts back in the early 70s, that people plagiarized and stole and took into their own and incorporated them, and now they call it community-based policing. I'm going to tell you the truth. Tujanovic at Michigan State was a thief. I'm going to tell it. The reason why I'm standing up is because I don't understand why y'all ain't mad. Right. How you wake up every day and children are being killed and look like our children on the street? And you get excited about 20 kids being killed when at the same time that many lost their lives in 1 month in Chicago and ain't nobody said a word. How can y'all have a teacher willing to go into a community and take one who's willing to take a lot of vacation? I don't understand, and then I do understand. When you live in a place where oppression is everyday occurrence, you get the Helsinki complex. You start loving your oppressor. You become the proverbial sheepdog. Let me tell you about the sheepdog and I'll be through. I didn't put that in the press with y'all.
Keep it clean.
I am. The sheepdog is a natural carnivore. That means he loves meat. He loves to hunt and he loves to eat meat. How do you make a sheepdog, a carnivore, into a sheepdog that protects the sheep? You take him away from his mama's tit at an early age. You put him on the ewe's tit. He's thinking he's a sheep. He know he don't bob. He know he ain't got no wool, but he eating every day, and that's good enough. And then one day something happened to his psyche, that spiritual, that heart, that natural thing. He tastes some blood. And what do? He start eating the sheep. What do they do to the dog to eat the sheep? They kill it. What do they do to the dog that suck the egg? They kill it. Because if he eat the eggs, he'll eat the chicken. What are y'all? Y'all the sheep? Or the sheepdog?
Thank you, Mr.
I'm going to say this. Thank you very much. But I think for me, community policing.
Can you stand up, Ron?
Okay. Yeah. For me, community policing is a holistic strategy and approach to doing police work. It's not just an outward activity. It's also an inward activity. You have to make the necessary adjustments structurally and institutionally in the police department for it to be community policing. One of the problems that, like the brother here talking about in South Florida, is because they only do community policing on the outside not on the inside. See, you can't change the attitude of the police officer by telling him that we're gonna do community policing without rewarding police officers for doing community policing. The reward system is still based on the traditional policing methodology, not the new methodology. So that's why police officers are still treating people like SHIT, is because they don't get graded on how treating them good, they get graded on treating them bad. There's still a numerical measuring system, for example. So it's not just an outward kind of thing, it's an inward thing too. And I wanted to address something that the brother said. See, if we were really doing community policing, we wouldn't have a gang problem. Although I don't necessarily agree that we do have a gang problem. But what we would be doing is we were doing some analysis and evaluation about why gangs exist in our community. And if anybody know anything about gangs provide a purpose in our community for the people that's in them. The police department is a gang.
That's right.
And not all of those gangs are good gangs either.
That's right.
And they operate based on their mission statements. But the problem is that if we were really doing real community policing, we wouldn't have a gang problem, because real community policing is about the identification and the development of solutions to address those issues in our community at the grassroots level. In the community. And the community would be a part of those strategies because they're the ones who are affected by it.
That's right.
So we really aren't doing community policing. We're sort of flirting with it. Most police departments are just sort of flirting with it, and they're doing external kind of things that address community policing. Because see, what the textbooks say and what the academics would tell you is that in order to successfully implement community policing in a police department, it's going to be something like 16 to 20 years. And police departments don't have that kind of patience when we're talking about implementing fundamental paradigm shifts and changes. They don't have that kind of patience. So they may do it for 4 or 5 years and then they stop. Well, no, they don't have a vision, because their vision is really still living in the traditional methodology of how we do police work, and that's incident-driven, numerical measuring tools, and then this whole notion about, locking up people, throwing away the key. And see, that's anti-community policing.
But it's also reinforced by the community.
All right, we got a couple more people with some hands up,
Not
please.
policing our community. You take a judge.
That could be a one-on-one conversation later. Yes, sir.